What the heck is this?
Drawn Together the movie, a movie that was panned by critics and fans alike, a movie that was considered a downgrade from the show it's based on, a movie that was considered so bad, people piss out their butts and crap out of their mouths. Hello and welcome everybody to What the Heck, a series where I talk about obscure shows and movies and wonder if they really are as bad as people say they are, or are people being hilariously dramatic, and today is my first movie review. And what better way to get the snowball rolling than to talk about this movie, but not just that, we're also talking about the special features, and the creator's own commentary years later to get a better understanding of the beautiful brain rot we're going to consume. Let's get into it. Drawn Together the movie, what is it about? It is a 2010 adult animated film based on the Comedy Central TV series Drawn Together, created by these two Jews right here. In a nutshell, the show was about 8 different cartoon characters who live in one house doing stupid stuff to entertain the audience, with the owner of the house, the Jew producer, having them live there for the sake of the show, with the show having a sitcom format with it being a parody of reality TV shows, and it made history. In 2007, the show was cancelled. And thus, the world ended. Fast forward to 2010, a trailer for the Drawn Together movie was released. Let's see if the movie lives up to the hype of the trailer. By the way, before we start, unfortunately, all special wieners and melons will be censored with bluey bars, to keep things family friendly, but, all swear words will not be censored. Why? Because the irony of it is funny to me, and since the popular thing to do is to overly praise and shit-talk movies and shows, allow me to make a point. Now let's begin. The plot starts off with one of the main characters, Toot, in the town, Bedrock, yes, Bedrock from the Flintstones, who is in a bar. She receives an anonymous message from someone telling her to come to the booth in the back of the bar, and that someone is Foxy Love. She comes to find out that Toot got knocked up by a closeted homosexual.
I've met a man who loves me for me. A man who's willing to cheat on his wife because he's a closeted homosexual who thinks I'm a man.
And that closeted homosexual is Tyler Perry. And that closeted homosexual is Barney. And we're off to a great start. Foxy tells Toot that they are in danger, and she came to save her. Waldor tells them that their location has been compromised, and tells them to leave the bar. While they're getting shot at, Foxy grabs Toot and escapes from the bar. Foxy and Toot jumps into a car. A rocket gets launched at them, but it misses, and hits a dinosaur, which almost falls on top of them. As they're driving, they hit Barney.
Toot baby, where you go?
Score, 5 points.
By the way, you may be wondering, or don't care about, how did they end up in this situation? Well, to know that, we have to go back in time. To 6 months ago, the Drawn Together gang are sleeping in their large comfy bed. As they wake up, the Jew producer tells them to head to the living room for a competition. The Jew producer wants them to step on puppies and kittens.
Jew producer, this competition is ridiculous.
That's why you're gonna lose. Suck it.
Hold it. Proceed.
And go.
In a hurry, the Jew producer announces the winner, and leaves. Foxy believes something suspicious is going on and wants to go on a mystery-solving case. And the others laugh at her.
The Foxy smells herself a mystery.
They start insulting her and believing she is a terrible mystery solver.
But let me ask you this. If you ain't not a supervillain, then why would you need a bulletproof face?
Fatality.
Henry!
Foxy, the only thing you're good at is giving head, and you managed to do the opposite.
Foxy gets upset and heads to her room. Waldor apologizes for joining in on the bashing. Waldor brings a special someone to cheer her up.
You can come in now.
Mrs. Wilkins!
Silly Foxy. Mrs. Wilkins is postmenopausal. It's impossible to get her off.
After Foxy getting mad, she starts swearing, and she realizes she's not censored.
I said fuck! And they didn't beep it! They ain't beep beeping the curse word. Ooh, if they ain't beeping, maybe they ain't blurring enough. Show me your cock.
I thought you'd never ask.
You know what this means? I was right. There is a mystery to be solved.
She realizes her suspicions were correct, and starts searching around the house. Meanwhile, the guys are playing poker.
What's up, niggas?
And Captain Hero shows up.
Never fear, Captain Hero is here! To play poker with the guys.
And he brings his new girlfriend, Molly.
Hero? Is that a dead girl?
How did we meet, you ask? Well, it's a tale as old as time.
And the guys don't like her.
If you can't deal with me being happy, then you're not really my friends. Come on, Molly, let's get out of here.
Wow, such friends. While Foxy is searching around the house, she finds the drawn-together control room, and realizes the show has been cancelled.
Cancel?
Clara doesn't believe her and they start fighting. In the next scene, we see the Jew producer and his Jew wife and his Jew son inside his Jew home. The Jew producer gets a call from his boss, the network head. Upon hearing from Foxy, he learns that the drawn-together gang are still alive, and wants them erased. The Jew producer was supposed to erase them, but refused, so the boss sends a giant robot after them, named Israel, to destroy them, who is voiced by Seth MacFarlane.
He shined like a diamond.
Back at the house, the drawn-together gang realized a different show had taken their time slot, the Suck My Taint show. The Jew producer rushes into the house and warns them about Israel. Israel shows up and starts attacking the drawn-together gang. They run into Foxy's van and escape. Israel destroys the drawn-together house.
Oh no. The drawn together house. It's gone.
Oh, thank God you're okay!
Israel then continues to chase after them. The Jew producer tells them that they can't go home, and reveals the truth and says that they're all fakes.
You're all fakes! Cheap knockoffs! You're all parodies of the real thing, created just to be undrawn together. Now that the show's over, the boss wants you all destroyed.
But why would he want to—
Look out!
Ryan, look out!
Fatality.
Then the van crashes and lands in the middle of the desert, unable to find the drawn-together gang. Israel takes the Jew producer to tell the boss on what happened. The gang survives. Since they're cancelled, Foxy believes getting drawn together back on the air will save their lives. So she thinks the Suck My Taint girl from the Suck My Taint show will help them get their show back on the air. Meanwhile, Clara believes she's a real Disney princess, and wants to head to her kingdom for protection, with Xander, Ling Ling, Captain Hero and Molly coming with her.
And I guess we are splitting up. How do we decide who gets the mystery van?
Later, ass bags!
In the next scene, the Jew producer apologizes to his boss and that he didn't want the drawn-together gang to be erased because he loves them. The Jew producer questions why his boss hates them. The boss reveals he believes they took his family away from him. And now, story time. His wife was driving and taking his daughter to elementary school. Then all of a sudden, the daughter sees a billboard of Clara and Foxy kissing.
Chocolate girl is eating the princess! She's eating her face!
The daughter freaks out and the mother tries to cover her eyes and they accidentally drive off a cliff and fell into a pool of sulfuric acid.
By the time I arrived, there was nothing I could do but get revenge.
After hearing his story, the Jew producer still refuses to help him, knowing he would say that. The boss kidnaps the Jew producer's son, so the Jew producer helps him, with the boss sending Israel and the Jew producer to go back and kill the drawn-together gang. Clara arrives at her kingdom, and the guards thinks she's an imposter. The real princess of the kingdom arrives, as well as the king.
Who the fuck are you? My loyal, filthy subjects. Surely you assholes recognize me. Imposter! I think we're all fakes.
No way!
The king has Clara and the others put in a dungeon. Meanwhile, Foxy and the others sneak into Comedy Central Studios, and see the Suck My Taint show, with the Suck My Taint girl singing about her taint, with Foxy and Woldor hating it, but Spanky loving it. Spanky has great taste in music. The Jew producer finds a newspaper showing Clara's mugshot and figures out where they are.
I'm sorry, Drawn Together gang, but I have to save my Jew son. Oh, Israel! I think I know where they are!
We then return to Clara and the others inside cells.
If I'm not a princess, then I'm just another beautiful virgin with real C cups and a super tight ass that continuously vibrates and tastes like wild berries. Who could ever love someone like that?
The king comes into the dungeon. Clara tries to impress the king by singing.
Clara! She's doing it! It's working!
For fuck's sake, Xander! I'm trying to impress the goddamn king!
But fails. Then Clara grabs the king.
Release the king, vile peasant!
And gets her arms chopped off.
This is Patrick Stewart. How are you liking the program so far?
In the next scene, Foxy, Wuldor and Spanky meet the Suck My Taint girl. Foxy tells her they were cancelled and they need to get back on TV. The Suck My Taint girl reveals to them why their show got cancelled.
Well, of course you were canceled. You guys were filthy and offensive without ever having a point.
She tells them they should go to Make a Point Land and find the Make a Point wizard to get their show back on the air. Foxy asks if she can help take them to Make a Point Land, and Suck My Taint girl agrees, but wants to see the rest of the Drawn Together gang first. We return to Clara, Xander, Ling Ling, Captain Hero and Molly in their cells.
What the fuck are you looking at?
Molly comes with a plan to escape.
What was that, Molly? You have the perfect escape plan? We'll be out of here in no time?
Really, Molly? Oh, that's awesome!
Molly is used to distract some of the guards.
You don't know you're beautiful.
As they sneak out, the rest of the guards notice and starts chasing after them. Xander wants Clara to escape and she refuses, saying she has nothing to live for and that she can slow the guards down. She grabs 2 torches and dies. The others run into a carriage and escape.
Molly hath saved the day!
But then, Israel shows up, and starts attacking them. Israel shoots the horses and the carriage falls off a cliff. Foxy, Wuldor and Spanky are walking beside the cliff. As the carriage travel towards them, Captain Hero flies and grabs them and takes them into the carriage. Wuldor questions where Clara is and Xander tells him that she is dead.
Well, that takes a stinger.
Israel continues to chase after them.
Hey everyone, I'm the coolest Smurf in the whole village.
The carriage breaks apart. Israel tries to shoot them but the Jew producer covers her eyes to prevent her from shooting them. The carriage falls into a lake, and water starts leaking into the carriage. The Jew producer and Israel think they're dead. Israel grabs the Jew producer and flies away. Spanky tries to get them out, but fails.
That penis is sweet.
In a last-ditch effort, Foxy suggests using the DVD commentary to figure out how to get out. With the commentators being Dave Jeezer and Matt Silverstein, they start talking about some random bullshit, then they have an idea of using Ling Ling as an inflatable raft.
Who haven't we used in a while? We're like, Ling Ling, what if we pull his tail and he inflates like a raft? This seems to be worth it at all. Maybe we should at least see Foxy's tits? I'm in.
Foxy swims and pulls Ling Ling's tail, and they float to the surface. Lastly, they all search to find Toot's fat ass. We now return to the present day, where the scene from the opening plays as normal, just with a few small changes. This is where the best scene in the movie happens. Foxy and Toot start having sex with each other.
Are you guys fucking right in front of my salad?
Unfortunately, I cannot show it.
It's not fair!
Toot starts getting shot at and Foxy helps her escape. It's revealed the one who is shooting her all along was Betty Rubble. Back at the kingdom, the king criticizes the boss about Clara, thinking that she is a clone of his daughter. Then the boss goes full Hitler mode and destroys the whole kingdom. In the next scene, the gang returns back to Suck My Taint Girl, and Foxy tells her that Clara is dead. Later, Suck My Taint Girl takes them to Make a Point Land through a rocket ship.
A feces-fueled rocket ship? That's awesome!
While on the ship, Xander wants to spend time with Captain Hero, but Molly is in the way, so Ling Ling helps Xander get rid of Molly by telling a lie.
What? Molly, you promised me we'd go to prom together.
Captain Hero throws Molly off of the ship and cries.
Guys, It's over between me and Molly.
The gang finally arrives to make a point land.
Put on your 3D glasses now. 3D glasses not included.
It looks fake.
As they travel to the Make-A-Point Palace, they get blocked by the giant who shits into his own mouth, who says he doesn't like eating shit.
I eat shit all day, every day, 24/7. Of course I don't like it.
So the gang decides to use Claris' arms to help stop the flow of shit getting into his mouth, and he is thankful. They finally make it to the Make-A-Point Palace and meet the Make-A-Point Wizard. Aware of their existence, the wizard hesitates on making them a point, but Waldor begs to the wizard to give them a point so their show can go back on the air. The wizard finally decides to make them a point. Is Foxy about to open the box to see what their point is? Spanky stops her, and says that they shouldn't open it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Spanky then gives an Oscar speech.
If I can't fart, or vomit, or fill up an ice tray with the afterbirth of Foxy's miscarriage and hand them out as ice pops to terminally ill children on my hospital tours without making some kind of point, then maybe it's just not worth it.
Relatable.
So, Mr. Make-A-Point Wizard, I guess we don't want to make a point after all. Maybe that's the point.
Waldor desperately wants Drawn Together to come back on the air.
That's what I'm talking about.
He opens the box and there is an eraser bomb inside. It explodes and erases him.
Yo, holy shit, he dead!
The wizard revealed that if he didn't kill the Drawn Together gang, he would be killed by, plot twist, the boss and Suck My Taint Girl. Suck My Taint Girl says she hates Drawn Together and doesn't want them to get their time slot back. Suck My Taint Girl and the boss start kissing.
Nice work, honey.
Thanks, Scott.
Ready for my salad?
Then the boss, Scott, orders Israel to kill the Drawn Together gang. But the Jew producer steps in, and says that he loves them. He tells Israel that even though everyone hates the Drawn Together gang, they have a right to exist.
Right.
Israel starts to feel sympathy, and admits she just wants peace and to coexist. Scott gets angry and starts swearing at Israel. Israel throws him into a spike. He starts laughing maniacally, and is going to suicide bomb himself and destroy the entirety of Make-A-Point Land and the Drawn Together gang with him. Before he could push the button to activate the bombs, Toot shoots out a baby that hits the network head on the head, and knocks the remote detonator out of his hand and it falls on the floor. The Jew producer fights with Suck My Taint Girl over possession of the detonator, with him telling the Drawn Together gang to run while they still can. They leave the palace, they're running around at the speed of sound. As the Jew producer and Suck My Taint Girl are fighting, the detonator falls to the floor and accidentally goes off. The bombs go off and explodes the castle with the gang trying to outrun the explosion.
Fuck yeah! I'm gonna escape the fuck out of this shit!
Then all of a sudden, Barney shows up, telling Toot that he worked out everything with his wife, so they have to end their affair.
Sorry. Here.
The gang runs for their lives as the radius from the explosion is catching up to them, but then all of a sudden, the giant who shits into his own mouth returns, and grabs and saves the Drawn Together gang.
Take off your 3D glasses now. 3D glasses not included.
As the gang discovers the remains of the Drawn Together house, the Jew producer's son shows up, telling them that they can't get their show back on the air, but they will get a direct-to-DVD movie. Captain Hero reunites with Molly. The giant who no longer shits into his own mouth is probably going to bang Israel. They all laugh and have a happy ending. Then Spanky accidentally steps on an eraser bomb and they all get erased. Well, happy enough. Now that's out of the way, let's look at some special feature stuff. This DVD was marketed as the definitive Drawn Together experience. Let's see if that's true. On the DVD, you will find the following features: deleted scenes. There's an extended scene where Foxy shoots Henry, and the paramedics are called.
Clear! We're going again! Clear! We're going again!
They should have put this scene in the movie. A more interesting scene is where in the movie trailers, as well this scene, Israel has a different voice and is not voiced by Seth MacFarlane, and even having slightly altered dialogue.
You explain to boss what happened. Israel's sick of being blamed for every little thing that goes wrong in the desert.
Israel's sick of being blamed for every little fucking thing that goes wrong in the desert.
It's unaware as to who Israel's voice actress was or whether if they used text-to-speech, but I found it amusing. In the rocket ship scene, there is extra dialogue with Hero crying over Molly.
Molly, you promised me we'd go to prom together, and that we'd move your gammy into silver linings. I can't believe you would do this to me.
How dare you, Molly? I thought you were different.
I can't believe I let her fuck me in the mouth.
They should have put this in the movie. And if you ever want to see the drawn together gang in the South Park art style, here you go. There is also an extended scene of the meeting Suck My Taint Girl, but the most interesting deleted scene is the 3D sex scene, an unfinished scene and with a little bit of extra humor that would have made the scene better. Considering this scene was advertised as one of the highlights of the movie, they should have finished this scene.
It's not fair!
Drinking game. There's also a drinking game called Get the DTs. And hey, would you look at that, the Jew producer is alive. Get the DTs is a game where you drink to certain cues on screen of episodes of the show. There's also another feature called Drawn Together Minisodes, of course, presented by the Jew producer, which are basically special collages describing each of the 8 main cast and their dysfunctional qualities. And hey, would you look at that, the house is fine. The legendary music from the show was also released in conjunction with the DVD. I recommend getting the DVD just for the special features alone, but the most interesting special feature is the DIY 3D classes feature, where the Jew producer literally says fuck Comedy Central.
We totally wanted to, but a certain network was too cheap to provide you, loyal viewer, with a pair of 3D glasses. But Comedy Central ruined it. Seriously, fuck those guys.
Do I smell beef? Let's talk about the controversy. One of the complaints with the movie is its anti-Semitism, which is ironic, because Dave Geezer and Matt Silverstein are Jewish, and the social commentary with Israel is mostly targeted at Israel's government.
I mean, isn't it hard to destroy innocent people that have never wronged you?
Everyone's wrong, Israel! Israel's sick of being blamed for every little fucking thing that goes wrong in the desert. Israel doesn't want to destroy. Israel wants to peacefully coexist. That's all Israel ever wanted.
No wonder everyone hates you, Israel! You're so goddamn aggravating!
Hey, Israel really is our greatest ally. Whoa!
That's a bit much.
Israel's going a bit overboard again.
In the scene with the boss's wife and daughter, apparently, from what I can gather, actress Patricia Heaton, who was driving with her daughter, became so triggered upon seeing the chocolate girl eating the princess, she used her power to get the billboard removed. There's also the criticism of the animation, and, to be honest, the animation is fine. There is even some good quick visual gags. It's the art style people are complaining about. The movie had a budget of $1 million, and the characters were drawn in flash animation, with Spanky looking the best in the art style, and Captain Hero and Clara looking the most rough. The reason why they went with flash animation is due to lack of funding from Comedy Central, which resulted in them switching from digital ink and paint for the show to flash animation for the movie. Speaking of Comedy Central, it's time to finally talk about the Jews' beef with the network. The common complaints with this movie revolves around the creators, Dave Geezer and Matt Silverstein, allegedly blaming South Park for Drawn Together's cancellation. Now, we're not supposed to take this movie seriously. After all, it is a comedy, but let's say we are.
For argument's sake.
The movie is not blaming South Park, it's blaming Comedy Central, don't you see? With the boss being a metaphor of the higher-ups at Comedy Central, to explicitly name-dropping them multiple times.
You said a special fuck you to Comedy Central.
The whole point is that South Park can get away with being raunchy and offensive with the excuse of them sending a message while doing so, but Drawn Together can be just as raunchy and offensive without sending a message, yet still get brutally criticized. And you know what? I agree, if I worked on something I loved, only to be told that I couldn't work anymore. I'll probably be a bit bitter too. Don't get me wrong, I love both shows, but in my opinion, they have a right to be bitter. The actual problem with the movie is that it's too bitter for its own good, and yet, I still believe they have every right to take jabs at South Park.
Question. Why is your ship plugged into the ass of that animal?
The ship is an ear of corn powered by bullshit. Because, don't you see, ethanol is bullshit.
I kinda liked it better when it was just a shit-powered rocket. Huh? A fetus tornado?
Don't you see? People just go round and round when it comes to stem cell research.
Well, not as funny.
Everybody knows that these days if you want to be raunchy and funny on TV, you need to also be relentlessly preachy.
There are many people hating this movie simply because it's talking about South Park negatively, but to assume they can't, goes against South Park's messaging, that no one or nothing is above criticism.
Oh no, how dare they get bitter and criticize the show that can do no wrong. They must be real idiots.
The way I see it, for the case of the Drawn Together movie, not everything should be criticized. If they would have just focused more on their strengths, I think this movie's reception would have been a bit more positive. Allegedly, the show was cancelled due to advertisers being pulled from the show as well as high production costs, and if the DVD sold enough copies, there could have been a season 4. Both Dave Geezer and Matt Silverstein appeared as guests on the YouTube channel The Ship It Show, where they and a few of the voice actors talk about shipping characters and their history with the show. Dave and Matt said this about the show's cancellation.
Why do you think it just got canceled when it
There's a lot of different theories. Comedy Central didn't promote Drawn Together very well. The other story that I'd like to get out there, don't know if it's true, love to tell people this. We had a friend who was dating Trey Parker, who supposedly hated the show, was supposedly in renegotiations for his contract, and said he did not want to be. And that's ultimately, if you do watch the schedule, we were moved away from South Park for no reason, even though we were doing great.
Wow.
Supposedly, Trey said, I do not want to be on the same network as Drawn Together. And he got it canceled. That's another story that I heard from his ex-girlfriend, who's a little loony. She's a loony lady.
Best stories
So
you've
I
ever
don't-
had. You never know.
Wow.
So we don't know. But you know what? I love telling people that because that's the story I want to believe.
Whatever the real reason is for the show's cancellation, or their feelings towards Comedy Central, probably doesn't matter anymore. Oh well. In conclusion, do I recommend the movie? Kinda. If you watch the show, in isolation, the movie can come off as a giant mess. I can see why it can be off-putting to some, but is this really the true definitive experience of Drawn Together? Buy the DVD and judge for yourself. Thanks for watching the best review of this movie. Subscribe for more. Suck my balls. Bye bye.
Yes, we give the audience what it wants.
Smash that like button and subscribe.